Hi guys, doing a review on the AMX Model 58 today. This was gifted to me a while ago by Jocko, so cheers Jocko. Doing a review on it today however because it's available via the trading program I believe. Now the tank is similar to the tier 10 French light tank. It's got a 3-round auto loader. This one sits at tier 8 but it plays up to tier 10. It's got a 50% silver bonus and a 10% XP bonus. The tank itself is fast, goes about 68 kilometers forwards. Turning circles not so good, so you won't be circling tanks with this. It's more of a hit and run kind of one, you know, do a quick drive by and leg it. As for the autoloader itself, you do about 300 damage per shot. With the 3 shots in the clip you're going to do about 900 damage per clip. You've got a 30-second reload on the clip itself and you're going to have to wait about 3 seconds between each shot in the clip firing. Due to that, you've got to be careful when you do decide to use the full clip. You can't do it if another tank is paying any kind of attention to you because it's going to take you too long. So you can't trade in this. If it's not safe, fire one shot at an enemy and then get out of there. Don't be tempted to keep firing back at them if they can fire at you. Now on this map, I've gone to this location to spot. This tank can be an amazing passive scout by the way. It's got decent camo. So if you're the type who likes playing with your binos and your camo on that, you probably really quite like this tank. Seems to excel in that role. Now here I'm firing heat because the standard shell has only got a penetration of 165. I wasn't top tier and I'm on an urban map, so I thought I'd go for the premium shell, which has got 210 pen. However, in this game, that is going to prove to be a mistake. 165 pen doesn't sound like much on paper, and it could put you off, but to be honest, 165 pen, with how fast and sneaky this tank is, it's actually sufficient most of the time. The heat, if anything, can actually have a negative effect on your gameplay, as we're going to see during this battle. Now, I've already bounced one shot, well not bounced for tracks 80, but I've already wasted one shot. Tracks 8 that one too, so that's 2 shots wasted. And that one. And then this one hits a funny angle and bounces off. Now apart from the one at the end there that bounced off, if I was firing the standard shell I would have penned the shots that the tracks otherwise ate there. So that's 900 damage that I wouldn't have got to do 900 damage against it, it didn't have that many hit points, but it's still a 900 potential damage, whereas I did nothing at all. Now I've still got the heat loaded, despite the fact I've come up here. Now I found a tier 9 tank, but I've got his side. My first shot decides to hit the dirt because, you know, reasons. Tracks absorb that one, and then that one finally goes in. So now I've fired off 3 clips, but I've only penned with 1 clip. So I'm not doing so well at the moment. That's a lot of wasted damage potential because I'm using the wrong ammo type. It's easy to do in this tank because 165 doesn't sound great, so you can panic if you see a lot of heavy tanks and think I need to load up the premium. But you really don't, not unless you're engaging a tank in a head-to-head duel. Which, let's be honest, is the last thing you want to do in a light tank. So more often than not, the heat is mainly for emergencies, because if you can get to the side or the rear of most tanks, 165 should be fine. Now here I found a Leo. I can cut through this guy. I've loaded my standard shell, but the inter-clip reload is quite long, like I said, and I stayed out in the open there. Now I set him on fire and he dies, but when I got shot, what I should have been doing was pulling back while I waited for my next shell to reload and then pop out and shoot him instead of sitting in the open. So you want to avoid doing that as much as possible, because that's a mistake. Now we can see the top speed being put to use here, and that does make this one great at flanking because you can really just zip around the battlefield. Got to be careful on maps like this with rubble and things like that, but it's a very, very nimble tank. Now here I've got the back of the Carnarvon. Again, 165 pen is more than enough to do this, unless I shoot him in the track, but it tracked him that time at least. He's not quite dead though, so I need to get out of there. You can't stay around. With a 30-second reload, you really do have to make yourself scarce. The good news is that while you are reloading, it gives you plenty of time to go and find your next target, which for me is artillery, because, well, they shoot me a lot, so it's nice to shoot them once for a bit of a change. Unfortunately, someone else found it first, but I'm still going to get the kill, which I was happy about, but I'll probably get one shot for the next 10 games or so in a row as, you know, karma. Now, the game's not looking so good here. Unfortunately, on a map like this, it's quite hard to carry in a light tank. And that is one of the weaknesses of this tank. Due to the 30-second reload, it can be really, really difficult to carry when outnumbered. Because you can do 900 damage to a tank, maybe finish one or two off, but on situations like this, where there's multiple enemy tanks outnumbering you and they've all got quite a lot of health, you're going to really struggle to make an impact. Now before, I said it's a hit and run tank, do a drive-by and leg it. That's what you should be doing, and I don't here, which is a mistake. I do get myself a kill, I go to shoot the IS-3 but he dies, and then I find my last shot, which is wasted. What I needed to do here was run. You don't want to get yourself in these kind of situations with a tank like this. And I was on my way to run, and then for some stupid reason, can't remember what I was thinking, I decided to use my handbrake and jump back into the meat grinder. And now I'm waiting for that reload, and this is why you can't go up against tanks with plenty of health left, because there's not a cat and mouse chance I can survive this. Now I crashed there, I tried using the handbrake but failed at it. And now my shots are bouncing. This situation is where the heat comes in use, when you've got another tank coming straight at you, because 165 pen here isn't very good. So at the start of the game I was using the heat when I didn't need to, and then at the end of the game when I did need it, I didn't have it loaded. So with this tank, you really do have to have good ammo management. Make sure you're picking the right shell at the right time. I did a good amount of damage, but if I'd have penned the shots at the beginning of the game that I didn't, I would have had, you know, a nice amount more. Now the tank is good fun, to be fair. It's not overpowered or anything like that. Some people believe it's pretty bad. I wouldn't have bought it myself, in honesty, from what I was reading about it on the forum. But after Jocko got it for me, I've been quite enjoying it. It does have something of a learning curve. I'm not a very good light tank player myself, I'm still learning the ropes. So I can't do the kind of things people like Turkey Tank and stuff like that can do. But even so, I'm still enjoying this one. At the moment, it's pretty much my go-to light tank, unless I'm up for just derping around in the turtle. Now, I'll bring up the stat page for you, so you can have a quick look at that. Quite a nice tank. I do think Wargaming did quite well with the design of it. There we go. Like I said, the stats, you know, they're fairly decent. The gun, it aims in okay. It's not a tank that's going to be hitting many snapshots or anything like that though. I do recommend, if you can, being behind a bush, have some distance between yourself and an enemy and let the reticule aim all the way in before firing. Because wasted shots on this really do hit your DPM potential. So you want to try and make every single shot count. But if you enjoy your French light tanks or auto-loading light tanks in general, I'd say this one is worth having a look at. Like I say, it's nothing overpowered. Yeah, I'd say it's balanced enough, to be fair. You've got to work to get your damage, but it's fun to play and it can be rewarding when you do well in it. So yeah, I'd probably recommend it, to be fair. It's a fun tank. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll get another one up when I can. Cheers.